Elanco, we are driven by our vision of food and companionship enriching life.
I'm Isak Breitenbach. I'm the General Manager of SAPA, and we're here at AVI Africa today, a 3-day conference, very exciting for us. This is really a big event for us. It's the first time since 2018 that we have AVI Africa. This is the event where we showcase our technology, and that will be done in presentations. We've got 3 parallel sessions. Talking about commercial layer issues, talking about broiler issues, and also talking about veterinary issues. And then we've got our exhibitors, and the exhibitors will exhibit all the new technology that we use in poultry production, whether it's from feed technology to slaughtering technology, our computerized chicken house technology. All of that is showcased at AVI Africa. We draw quite a lot of people. We have people from the SADC region here. We've had a SADC meeting earlier this week. So those people will be here. We will have farm managers, technical managers, veterinarians, production managers. All of these people would attend and use this as an opportunity to upskill them with the latest technology that we have here to showcase. Yeah, we're a number of countries here at this conference this week, and we can all learn from each other. If we talk about avian influenza, some of the countries don't have avian influenza. We are struggling with avian influenza. When we talk about the price of maize, the price of maize is a variable price in South Africa based on the Chicago Board of Trade, but then we have countries like Zambia, Tanzania, where price mechanisms are used to determine the maize price. So that's quite different from what we would be doing in South Africa. I think there's a common thread that we need to be totally integrated with Africa. We import a lot of maize, we import soybeans specifically from Zambia, and then we export from here. We can also talk about exports of poultry products from South Africa to our neighboring countries. We've positioned ourselves in a way that we need to be, as South Africa or as Africa or as SADC, the second supplier in each of these countries and not the major producers of poultry. We are cost competitive as an industry, and we want to use this forum not only for about looking at technology, but also in the way that we negotiate with our fellow African countries to improve our competitiveness in South Africa.
Okay, my name is Mario Pence. I'm from Brazil, and I work in the poultry industry for almost 50 years. I have been a university professor, and now I am a global strategic accounts for Cargill Animal Nutrition. And I was invited to come to AVI. I'm very proud and happy to be here. And my challenge was to discuss about challenges of the future of the poultry industry. And I try to divide in both groups of challenges, what I call outside and inside. The outside is those things that happen in the world that we cannot manage by ourselves. You people have a problem here with energy. That's something that is not inside of the chicken house. It's generated outside. Avian influenza, that today is a very complex issue all over the world. We can mitigate by biosecurity, but we cannot avoid. We do not have that power to do that. And we can go, sustainability is another very important outside challenge that is coming to us. Animal welfare, it's another very important thing. We need to be trying to communicate well with the society based upon what we are doing to have the animals in a nice place to be produced. When we go to inside, then what I call inside the fence, inside the company, then we need to be looking basically on training people. I try to show in my presentation that we are changing generations right now, from old guys like me to young people like you. And this is a very important challenge because you people have a different aspects that you prefer to do and to look. different from our side. But by the end of the day, everybody must be trained. The animals need to know that you know what they need. And then this is, for me, the most challenging thing of the industry now. And the second important thing is we are in a very important environment of artificial intelligence. We generate so much numbers in our companies. So let's digest better those numbers to really take advantage, to know what's good, what's bad, and to express as a strategy just going in direction of those things that really will make the difference. And besides that, I think that is related to artificial intelligence, we need to be working on variability. We need to understand how the process varies and what we can do to reduce this variation. So we need more statisticians in our companies. We need to be looking those numbers more carefully. And besides that, we need to continue doing, those things that we call back to basic. Good diet, good ingredients, good laboratory, good feed, good animals, good water for the animals, because that is already settled as knowledge. But sometimes we gave a secondary understanding. If we can mitigate the outside challenges and be very conscious about the inside opportunities, I think the company will win. The poultry industry will grow with me or without me. That growth will be around 1.5 to 2% per year. But the industry that will grow will be the industry that is ready for changes. The industry that is quite, pragmatic to repeat what was done and sometimes very well, that doesn't mean that will be from now on. So we need to take risk, and we need to be creative. We need to be looking out of the box. So that was the message that I tried to bring in this conference.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Sean Biscoff. I'm a poultry specialist veterinarian, and we're at AVI Africa today, where the poultry industry gets together to discuss issues affecting the industry as a whole. The talk I've just given was about control of avian influenza. A lot of your viewers will know that highly pathogenic avian influenza is a huge concern for poultry producers worldwide. We've lost probably 500 million birds across the world that have either died or been culled. And this disease is a huge threat to the economic viability of our industry. So my personal focus area has been the discussions around the use of vaccination to control this disease. And a lot of producers are very keen to start vaccinating, but it turns out that there are quite a few issues and that need to be resolved before we will be able to do that. The first step, of course, is that the government has to look at the possible available vaccines and decide which ones are appropriate and which ones can be approved that meet the necessary standards of safety and efficacy against the disease. Bird flu is a tricky virus. It constantly mutates. I think any of us know that influenza is something you can get every year, and the strain every year is slightly different. The same with bird flu. This means that we've got to match the vaccine strains exactly to the strains of bird flu that we have in the country. So this will also be a part of the approval process. The next part is that we've got to understand that when we start to use vaccination, it is only going to be part of a strategy to eradicate bird flu from the country. It is not something we're anticipating doing on a massive scale or generally across the country at this stage. So we hope to be able to introduce some of the most recent vaccines that will be highly efficacious in preventing clinical disease and in preventing the spread of the virus to other chickens. The other concern, of course, is that this virus poses a distinct threat to the health of some of our endangered wild birds and wild mammals. And we hope that by vaccinating chicken populations, there will be less of a risk to those animals. This process is still going to take some time, and I don't think we'll be vaccinating large numbers of birds within the next couple of years, unfortunately. So one of the more controversial issues around vaccination is that most of our outbreaks recently, and the most recent ones have been in the Western Cape, affect our commercial layer industry. Now, for commercial layer producers, They sell eggs, but at the end of production, they of course sell the cull bird into the live bird market, which is massive in South Africa. And this is a very important part of their economic viability. The government, on their hand, are saying that if we vaccinate against bird flu, they are not prepared to allow vaccinated birds to leave farms alive. Those birds would have to be slaughtered. The reason for this is that there's a concern that we would have partially immunized birds not showing clinical signs and allowing this virus to circulate widely in the country. So it's unlikely that we will be able to vaccinate commercial laying hens. It's simply going to be too expensive or possibly impractical to slaughter the birds rather than sell them live off the farms.
Elanco Animal Health is currently at AVI Africa. It's one of the largest poultry congresses on the African continent. There are a multitude of visitors from the different countries and especially great representation from the poultry industry in South Africa. Elanco is here to talk about our product portfolio, which includes our wide range of vaccines, products for intestinal integrity, products for nutritional health, as well as products for bioprotection. So it's basically a whole range of products that can be utilized to protect your animals from the start of production all the way through to the end of production. Okay, so what we actually have here is one of our products in our nutritional health range. It is the AVI Boost Aqua Block. The AVI Boost Aqua Block is a product that is utilized for your chicks during transport. So what happens is at the hatcheries, your chicks hatch out, they then get placed into crates and then are transported quite long distances in order to get to the farms that they need to be placed on. Sometimes this transport can be very short, up to 20 minutes, and other times it can go as long as 18 hours. To ensure that your chicks are hydrated and they start getting nutrition early on, you utilize the Aqua Block, which is basically a gel that contains concentrated minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and an energy source, as well as a lot of water, which is there to hydrate your chicks during transport. This ensures that they have a good start when they do arrive at the farm, and it also reduces the mortalities that occur during transport.
Goeiedag, ek's Elrie, ek is hier by AVI Africa vandag. Ek's 'n finale jaar peekinderstudent by TUX of Universiteit van Pretoria. Ons dosente het ons AVI Africa toegestuur vandag om meer inligting te kry en as voorbereiding vir ons broiler challenge in Augustus wat gaan plaasvind. Dis ook die eerste keer wat so 'n challenge gaan gebeur en asook dis ons finale jaar projek, dit tel vir van ons punte. Ons gaan hier dagoue kykens kry waar ons in 'n groep van 4 gedeel is om met verskillende persoonlikhede ook mee te doen tot, so om mense te leer ken, maar as ook die diere en die proses van 'n dagoue kyken tot 'n braai kyken wat jy kan gaan braai. En ons gaan met daai proses ook wees van die slagtery tot die voorbereiding waar ons saam met 'n food science student werk wat ons daarmee sal help om wat is die regte manier om hoender gaar te maak. So ons gaan van die begin tot die einde deel wees en Elanco gaan ook deel vorm van hierdie. Hulle is een van ons groot borge vir die jaar, so ons is baie dankbaar vir hulle ook.
Elanco, we are driven by our vision of food and companionship enriching life.